Hey guys, today I want to talk about something that is, well, very popular nowadays, at least on YouTube, which is it is people losing jobs to AI. Um, I used to believe that with any new technology, even if that technology replaces some jobs, it creates new ones. So there is no problem with new technologies, and I still don't have any problem with new technologies. Believe me, I am a software engineer. I create technologies. Um, I love creating stuff, but at the same time, I don't believe that it is as easy as when new jobs disappear, new jobs are created every time there are new technologies. Um, I believe that in the past few years, more and more, it's been the case that thousands or maybe tens of thousands, hundreds of thousands of jobs are being just deleted from existence, and yes, some new jobs are created, but it's not the same number of jobs. It's maybe, I don't know, 10% of those jobs are replaced with new jobs that are completely different. And when I was younger, I used to believe that, well, boo hoo, right? Just go back to school and study and get a new degree. And now, as I am older and hopefully a bit wiser, I believe that it's not that easy. And it's not that easy. I mean, imagine that you go to school for, I don't know, 5 years, you get your diploma, you start working, and then you get replaced by AI. And well, you're still maybe young, so you go back to school again, study again for 5 years, get a new diploma, and then that new that new that career is also gone because AI has replaced it. So it is not as easy as, well, if some jobs are removed or get replaced by AI, you can just find a different job. Well, it's not that easy anymore. At least I don't believe it is as easy as that. And I don't know what to do about that. It's not like I can do anything. I'm not a president or a political figure. I don't know what we can do as a society about that. Some people believe that we will need um, some kind of universal basic income, maybe in not now, but in the future, in, I don't know, 10, 20 years, we will have to receive some basic income because many people will just not be able to get a job, so you need something to survive. And some others just believe that, well, fuck it, right? We just go back to school, learn a new technology, learn to code. But then again, I don't believe it is that easy anymore because even developers are being fired nowadays. I don't think it has to do with AI, but yes, many developers and software engineers are being fired because, well, we don't need that many of them anymore. So, anyways, today I want to watch a video with you guys that it's about a guy that lost his writing job to AI. I believe that some jobs are at higher risk of being replaced by AI, especially the ones that have to do with writing, because technologies such as ChatGPT are exceptionally good at creating essays and articles and blog posts. They can write 10,000 word articles in a couple of seconds. You can, and for basically free. So you can't compete with that. Anyways, I want to watch this video with you guys. Please please subscribe, give a like, and yeah, let's watch.
I have something I wanted to talk about. I wasn't sure if I should, but fuck it. If you've watched my channel for a while now, you'll know that I talk about how I do freelance work and I have a few different gigs that I do. And one of them, which I believe I've mentioned before, is that I do freelance writing. There's this one company that I've worked with for a few years now, and basically I would write blog articles for them. And how else can I say it? Recently, I lost this job to AI. I didn't actually get fired.
um this is very sad. I'm sorry about that. As I just said, I believe that writing jobs, technical writing, copywriting, writing marketing stuff, all of those writing jobs are the ones that are going to be replaced very, very, very soon with AI. It is very easy for ChatGPT and some other technologies to replace those kind of jobs. It is impossible to compete with them. So I'm sorry about that. Let's keep watching.
Fired. It's not like they came to me and said, yo, we're replacing you with AI, just put the fries in the bag, little bro. Because you don't really get fired from a freelance gig. It's more so a matter of whether or not they need you.
Yes, I have. I don't know if I have told you this before, guys, but I used to be a technical writer, and I used to write educational articles about Android development. So I know what he's talking about, and I also was a freelance writer, right? You don't when you're a freelancer and you're not a full-time job, you don't have a full-time job, you don't technically get fired. They just tell you that they don't need you anymore. They won't keep giving you stuff to do. So it's not like they fire you. They just don't have work for you anymore, which at the end they don't have work for you anymore, which at the end of the day is basically the same, but let's keep watching.
Whether or not they'll keep assigning you tasks.
Exactly.
And I haven't been assigned anything recently. In the past few months, they've been pretty quiet, which is obviously unusual because I would usually get around 3 to 4 articles a month to write. It wasn't the main source of my income, but it was a decent chunk of it, and just a nice little side hustle I had going. In fact, I'd been working with them since back in college just to make some money on the side. But anyways, it was like I haven't heard from them for a while. They haven't been giving me new articles to write, so I was curious. One day I decided to go look on their website, check out their blog section, just to
and a bunch of
what's going
articles
on.
there.
Like, did they just stop publishing blog articles because they're focusing on other aspects of the business? Maybe they're hiring new people to write it. Maybe I just didn't do a good enough job. Maybe they just slowed down a bit since we're reaching the end of the year and the holiday season and all of that. But when I actually clicked on the blog page for their site, I was kind of shocked to see what I saw. Just for more context though, I did know that they worked with other freelance writers, but most of the articles on their site were written by me. I'd say like 60 to 70% of them at least. Like I said, it would be around 3 to 4 per month from me, 1 or 2 maybe from a different writer, and that would come out to about 1 new blog article per week published on their site at best, typically even a little less because it takes some extra time to actually get it published. And again, this is from the combined effort of me and these other writers. But this time when I checked their blog section of the website, I saw that they had like 4 full-length blog articles all published within 1 week, and obviously none of them were from me. So it looked like
Yes. It is kind of interesting when this happens, because you know that they have to get that from somewhere, and if it is not you and not from some writers, they are just using AI. It is much easier for them and faster to just get some AI to write those articles.
they're just pumping out articles en masse, and they were pretty good quality too.
And you know what? I heard that Amazon had to limit the number of books that someone can publish on Kindle to just 5 or something or so, like a day, because people were just publishing books and books and books and books. And it's like, well, a human can obviously not write 10, 20, 50, 100 books a day, right? They are just asking ChatGPT to write that stuff. They publish it, and then they try to collect some royalties. It is crazy out there.
So it's like, okay, I see what you're doing. They literally went from like a few blog posts a month, maybe once a week at best, to like I think 4 in a single week. And That's a pretty big improvement. And obviously this was coming from AI. The reason why I know that, even though they didn't specifically say like, oh, we're doing this, is because I was actually warned about it beforehand. I know that this company has been experimenting with AI tools for a while now. And what happened was that earlier in the year, they actually told me about it as like a reason to lower my pay. They actually asked me to switch over to creating AI generated articles for a much lower rate. They were saying like, hey, a lot of companies are using AI now. We were thinking about doing the same, but we still want to keep you around, have you as part of the team. But
At least they warned him that they were going to replace him with AI. Many companies just fired you or silently fired you. They just stop giving you work, and then someday they say, well, sorry but not sorry, you're getting fired, please leave. At least they were nice to him and warned him and offered him to keep him as AI writer, for a lack of a better word, but at a much lower pay. Mm, uh,
But instead, we can just have you be the one generating these AI blog posts with a little bit of human edits here and there, and we'll still pay you, but at a lower rate. And obviously, I didn't want to do that. I still wanted to make my money, so I sort of negotiated. At the time, I guess they still needed me, so we just kept the same rate for my original articles, and that's how it was going until recently. But it always was in the back of my mind that they could
you're
replace
just
me
going
with
to be
AI
fired.
at
Yeah.
any time if they really wanted to. That's just the nature of the business, and it's just hard to compete with AI nowadays. And it's not even like I wasn't using any AI to begin with either. Like even with my original articles that I'd write, I'd basically do the rough draft on my own, but I still would use like ChatGPT and ask them, hey, can you help me polish it up and fix any typos, replace any phrasing that you might.
Yeah, and it is everyone uses now. When I don't want to say everyone, but most people use AI nowadays in some way or another. He's saying that he had a draft and then asked ChatGPT to correct it. Well, anyone can do that, right? I mean, if someone asks me to, I don't know, write something about Android development, the history of Android development, I can create a very short draft of maybe 100 words, and then ask ChatGPT to create something much bigger, right? So it's like you're very easy to replace.
I think is awkward or that kind of stuff. So I was in part using AI as well because it saved me some time and made the writing a lot better. If you don't know already, ChatGPT, and especially like the paid version of it, it's extremely powerful. It can do a lot of stuff, and I've experimented with it. The company I worked with, they've experimented with it, and it can generate literally entire 1,000-word blog articles
In
within
seconds, yeah.
all for free, basically. So it's like, how can I compete with that? Honestly, I don't blame them for using AI instead of having to pay me a decent amount of money. Like, if I were running a company, I'd probably also do the same if I
Of
wanted to
course.
maximize my profits.
Why would you pay someone, I don't know, $50,000 a year, $100,000 a year? I don't know how much writers usually make, and let's assume that they just make $50,000 a year. Why would you pay a writer or 10 writers to $50,000 a year when you can just pay a single subscription to ChatGPT, which is what, $40 a month to write everything for you? It is much cheaper, and it is faster. ChatGPT can't get sick, doesn't argue with you, and it is basically free, just like he said. It's like you cannot compete with that.
It sucks, but that's just the way it is. Like in the past, there would be this whole workflow for getting an article published. I would get an article briefing assigned to me. I would usually finish up a draft, splitting up the work over the course of a few days, maybe like 5 to 6 hours total. Then I would send my draft back for revisions. They would send it back to me saying like, hey, there's some parts that we want you to change. I would make some final edits, and all of that would happen before the article could get published. So it would be about a week-long process back and forth, and they paid me a decent amount. But now with AI, they can, again, generate an article, let's just say
In a
80 to
second.
90% of the quality of that. But they can do it within seconds, minutes at most, and don't have to
And
pay
free.
ChatGPT, aside from whatever subscription cost it might be. And it's not even just ChatGPT, by the way. That's just what I use, what most people use. But there's so many different AIs now, some of them in specialized areas. Like, for example, the platform that I would use to write my articles was this thing called Phrase. I don't know, maybe if you're also in the freelance writing space, you might be familiar with it. But it's essentially like a platform where as you write, it helps you keep track of SEO, keywords, and other important things. But earlier this year, I believe, they came out with their own generative AI, which can also just write an entire article within the click of a button. But they're also specialized in incorporating SEO, keywords, and stuff like that.
How can
So,
you
yeah,
compete
I've
with
said it
that?
a lot of times before, but just from the market standpoint, how can I compete with that as a
You
human
can't.
being who needs much more money and much more time for that? This is just where the world is going, it seems. Like, again, maybe in terms of quality, I can write an article just as good, even better. But asking me to do it over the course of a few days and overall a week versus AI doing it within a few seconds for really no money at all, it's an easy choice if you're the one who's running the business. I get it. And nowadays, if you're in really any industry where AI is playing a role, you're not only just competing against like ChatGPT or one specific AI. There are just so many different programs nowadays. AIs are competing against each other and making that even a saturated.
And people keep saying, well, AI is not perfect. They write garbage. Or, for example, I had a conversation with a friend of mine. She's maybe a couple of weeks ago. She's a designer. She studied graphic design, and she tells me, well, no, AI cannot replace designers because AI is not perfect. AIs cannot can't handle hands. I don't know if you guys have used these AI image generators like Midjourney or DALL-E, but if you take a close look at the images that they generate, sometimes there are imperfections. For example, like she said, the hands are not perfect, they look weird, they have maybe 4 fingers or 3 fingers. So, and I said, well, yeah, I mean, it is not perfect, but we are on the very first iterations of it. What happens in 5, 10 years? I'm sure that sooner or later AIs will be able to handle hands, you know. At that point, I noticed that she got a little upset, and well, let's stop the conversation. I stopped the conversation there with her, but it's like, yes, maybe you can write something better than an AI. Maybe you can design something better than an AI, but they are already like better than most people. I couldn't possibly create an image as good as one from Midjourney or DALL-E, and I obviously cannot do it for couldn't do it for free, right? And it's the same thing with writing stuff.
Market. All of the companies behind them are competing with each other to try to make the best AI, so these kinds of tools are only going to become more powerful as we head further and further into the future. So, I don't know, maybe I'm cooked. Maybe we're cooked. Just time to put the fries in the bag, I guess. But yeah, it's like, how can you not be at least a little bit concerned? Because AI is coming to even the jobs that require some level of human creativity, like writing. It's crazy that ChatGPT can even do that now. I can try my best, but can't possibly compete with the pure efficiency of it. And neither can anyone, really. So, maybe I just got unlucky. Maybe this isn't something you'll have to worry about. Maybe it'll never happen to you. I hope it never does. But I'm kind of curious though, like if something similar has happened to you where your job or at least part of it has been replaced by AI. Feel free to share it in the comments because I'd really be interested in hearing that. But overall, I just want to share my experience. I'm not making this video to say like, oh, you should feel bad for me. I'm so sad now I lost my job. again, like I have other sources of income as well, since I'm sort of just like hustling, and I did kind of see it coming. This company sort of tried to warn me about it in advance, which is at least better than just like cutting me off immediately. But yeah, it's just something to keep in the back of your mind, like AI is here now. Your time has come, buddy. But I hope just on a societal level, we can figure something out. And just on a personal level, one more thing I wanted to say. Maybe you can take this even as advice if it's something you happen to agree with. But at least what I've noticed is that the only way to make sure that you won't be replaced in whatever you do is to make yourself irreplaceable. For example, a job I would...
I I don't believe that's true. Sorry, but I believe that nobody is irreplaceable. Everyone can be replaced either by some other person or an AI nowadays. So I don't think you can make yourself irreplaceable. Maybe you can make yourself harder to replace, but it's not like you. And it is very hard to find someone that is so good, like the only one that can do something. It's like you are not like Stephen Hawking or someone. Most of us aren't Stephen Hawking, and we are not like these super huge big brain humans that are irreplaceable. It's like, no, you can be replaced.
would say that's irreplaceable is like being an athlete or something, or even some other forms of like manual labor, because
I also don't believe that's true. Yes, it's going to be harder for AIs to replace manual labor, but there are also like machines that are doing stuff that humans used to. So
don't literally have robots or anything yet, but also another form of job or whatever you want to call it that won't be replaced by AI is authentic content creation, like YouTube. And
I also don't believe that's true. Sorry to tell you that. There are many. He says that authentic content creation is not going to be replaced by AI, but what about these fake AI profiles that are popping around Instagram or Twitter or X? There are many AI models or AI profiles on Instagram that it's crazy. It's just there are already AI models that post pictures there, and on YouTube there are many AI generated channels that throw out a bunch of garbage and people watch it. It's not like, sorry to tell you that, but it's not like you can't be replaced because you're a YouTuber. And again, AI is just getting better and better. There are already AI video generators. Yes, they are not very good, but they will become much better. Imagine how they will look like in 10 years. You will be able to create an AI YouTube channel with fully AI generated videos. There already are, but they are not that good. So, sorry.
that's part of the reason why I'm doing this channel, along with the other travel and outdoors channel that I recently started. So check.
You can create an AI generated channel that talks about the best places to visit, the most dangerous parts of the world. It's not like you cannot be replaced.
That out if you're interested in that. But I realized that this is a way to make money that actually can't possibly be replaced by AI, because at the end of the day, AI can't replace the human experience. It can replicate the tasks that you do, but it can't replicate the experiences that you've lived or the stories that you have to tell.
Of course it can. Obviously the AI hasn't lived those experiences, but they can make something up. They can talk about this fake story about this amazing journey that the AI had to the, I don't know, to the mountains or something like that. So you can fake those experiences. Sorry.
No.
Well, looks like that's all from this guy. It was a very interesting video. I'm sorry to hear that he was replaced to AI. At this, is this video over? He's asking the AI what to do if you got fired by AI. And it is fun because if you take a look at this video, there is like the video and about how he got replaced by AI, and then an AI summary text. It is crazy nowadays. So sorry if I sounded very cynical and very, I don't know, negative. I'm trying to be honest, but it is what it is, guys. I'm very hopeful for humanity. It's not like this is going to be like the doomsday or the end of the world, but I want to give you my honest opinion. Let me know what you guys think in the comment section. If you believe that I am totally wrong, please let me know. That's it for this video, and see you in the next one.